Okay, aloha everyone. This is Miracle Weihua Lokahi King. Wow. I am here at Mount Storm King in the Olympic National Forest in Washington, and we are gazing at the beautiful crystalline lake crescent. Ah, wow. That was quite a rigorous hike to get up to this point. But as you can see, this is a stunning, absolutely inspiring spot. Full eagle, condor, expansion spot. Feeling the mystic visioneer inside myself today. And as I was hiking up today, I felt really super called to just claim this transmission for myself and for all of you out there, knowing that we are in this moment, so in the holy now, that it's so difficult to say we're in the past, we're in the future, even though our minds, our thoughts, sometimes even our habits and behaviors for some of us are just continuously moving through scarcity and scare matrix. And I just want to talk about how it's so crucial right now to be in this state of presencing authentic bravery and stepping in to courage and claiming fearlessness. So today, I'm so saying yes to giving you a transmission from this spot for the sovereign, noble lifestyle in multidimensional thriving. So what does it mean to be sovereign? Because so many people talk about it. And it's about really owning that you are the ruler of your own infinite point of singularity in this infinite cosmos, and especially in this localized universe. And more than ever before, we have to claim it. We have to be it. We have to have the fortitude to say, you know what? Everyone's going in this direction, and I'm going to choose to go in the opposite direction. And sometimes that's really hard, claiming sovereignty and continuously claiming sovereignty. And now at this point, I am sovereign. I understand that I am in the gnosis intelligence of my rulership of my own reality creation spectrum of what I am navigating in this epic life that is called human existence within humankind. And that's the key, is part of sovereignty is not just being empowered, but it's also the kindness and the mercy that we share with others in humanity. And this is a time where, especially in the United States of America, where I was born, it's a huge time of polarity. It's a huge time of paradox. It's a huge time of the distance between duality is going to extremes. And yet it also gives us, in that point, when we walk the middle way and choose to be noble in every breath, every inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, that we can inspire all the different beings that we interface with every single day. And if we can choose to merge a noble life that is both strong and wisdom-filled and overflowing with love, and also have mercy and kindness, to those that may have done us wrong, to those that aren't as sovereign, aren't as genuine, are going through really, really extremely tough times, that they are making very unwise decisions and choosing to be very inappropriate with their actions. And I don't know about you, but as I said in my last video, we are being confronted, and I'm also a part of that confrontation, of challenges that are happening to us to bring us deeper and wider into the recesses of our noble, forgiving, and kind heart, to be making things more than right with all of our relations, even when those relations don't give a flying F about us, betray us, manipulate us, maybe make agreement feels and promises that break or go against a healthy contract or a healthy handshake. Because these kinds of things are happening right now. Why? Because we're being asked to engage from a sovereign, multidimensional place, and with mercy and kindness, bend towards the lower spiral, in a sense, in order to merge and marry all those that are just a little bit lower than us, vibrationally slower than us, potentially denser than us, to give them a lift up. And that may even mean that, ironically, we give them money and then they betray us, or we make a deal with them and they completely manipulate and go against us. And then we have to call them out on it. We have to skillfully discover a way to bring a blessing to that person or to that group of people, to give them an experience of what it means to right a wrong, and for them to have the experience of being vulnerable and admitting fault, admitting that they effed up. And if we don't do that, then what we're saying to the universe is that we are not worthy of claiming our noble life sovereignty. And this is really huge, because it's almost like there is a really lower vibrational handout being given by powers on the unseen realm that are super ignorant and super confused. And you could call them the fallen ones. And they are manipulating and gaslighting things and making this handout seem like you can just be a complete ass and a complete jerk and a complete bitch, and there will be no repercussions. And they're feeding this agenda of polarity and paradox. And yes, of course, we can go into the 5D, we can go into the multi-D, and that's what this is all about, is rising above that. But I found in my peer group, including myself, that more and more of us are being asked by the nature of the hologram, because there's 7.8 billion of us out there, and there's billions of us that are not awakening right now. There's billions of us that are not choosing to go through the shift. And they're staying fundamentally stuck in the 3D or the lower 4D. And what we are being asked to do is to stand completely in our sovereign heart power and have ultimate compassion. The whole idea is not to react. The whole idea is to be emotionally intelligent, emotionally resilient, not react to the characters, whether they're evil or good, or the good versus evil playing out on the screen and in real life, in the infinite human game screen. This reality crafting has given us an opportunity to showcase our mastery, to showcase that we can expand into this kind of view when we inhale that prana mana, exhale all that is no longer serving us, and open our hearts and forgive those that have wronged us. Just like Gandhi said, an eye for an eye and the whole world goes blind. Well, we can't afford to be blind anymore. We have to open our eyes in the infinite voidal darkness and reimagineer in our imaginal selves, what is it in a world where everyone can own their own fall, where everyone can own their own ignorance and confusion and the places where they have effed up? Because many people are effing up, and they're thinking in the effing up that they're doing the right thing. They're thinking, oh, I'm just taking care of myself, or I'm taking care of my family, or it's okay for me to steal or break in or take advantage of people. It's okay to do things without asking for permission. But actually, in a noble, sovereign life, thriving in multidimensional mastery, that is an illusion. That is bypassing and what I call insta-shamanism, insta-sovereignty. It's just spiritual materialism. And if you are having a problem with the New Age community in your local environment, if you're having a problem with spiritual people, if you're having a problem with people who call themselves shamans or New Age gurus, and they're not really authentic, then I suggest you go pick up a really seminal book and read it. It's called Cutting Through Spiritual Materialism. It's by Chogyam Trungpa, and it was written by one of the first Tibetan Buddhist Nyingma Kagyu Rinpoches. And it was one of the first Tibetan books I ever read over 25 years ago. And it completely changed my life. And I think the essential core is that when we want to choose to live in a sovereign, noble lifestyle, that we have to cut through the spiritual materialism. We have to find a way to not just choose the Dharma, which means the path of liberation, and walk in a non-dual way in every moment in our daydream and our night dream. But we have to choose to really merge the strength of our bravery and our courage to do the right thing when wrong things are happening in front of us. And that is what authentic leadership, this is what true kingship and true queenship is all about. It's not just about dressing up in all the white clothes and the fancy jewelry and the fancy noble king or queen wear. I mean, that's great if you want to do it, but it's also about your actions. It's how you dictate every day your relational artistry with all of your relations, with all of humankind. And being kind not just to the spiritual people, but also to what we call the muggles, the people that are not awake, as in Harry Potter, the ones who don't understand magic, who don't understand what it means to be in the noble heart, to live authentically, to thrive in a multidimensional lifestyle. And we can only go so far living in this more expanded consciousness because we have to step one whole foot back into this 3-dimension, because we still have a body. We still are living and thriving. We're breathing with the rest of humanity. And we have to return full circle back to the ground, back to this beautiful earth, and all those others that are getting out onto the earth who are choosing to interface with the heart of the earth in a very humble way. I've found that hiking and walking and trekking in this Olympic forest in this past few days has really made me realize that even though you can scan and you can holographically sense when you pass people what they're thinking about, where their consciousness really is residing in, the basic fact is that there are more and more people that are choosing to get off the screen, manage their time, and move out into NI, into natural intelligence. They are also deeply feeling into what are the answers that are beyond what I'm being told by the authority of the government, of the system, of the matrix, of the ways in which we exchange goods and services, the screen, artificial intelligence, all the tens of thousands of satellites in the air, all of this fakery, all of this Terminator, artificial transformer technology that is attempting to direct the flow of humankind. And there is a questioning because people are inspired when you choose to walk a different path. For example, earlier today, I was walking up this very steep switchback path, and I decided to go on the goat track. I don't know why, just sometimes I decide to go a much more difficult route, and it's already a difficult route. And when I had gone up that route, I realized, wow, this is a serious trail that's going directly straight up. And basically, I was like free climbing at this point. And when I finally reached the plateau, this one brother and this sister said to me, wow, we couldn't believe we were just watching you like a full-on flying goat going up this trail. And we were so inspired. And I just said to him, like, yeah, well, my name is Miracle. And sometimes I wander and I go the route just by inspiration, and I have no idea where it's going to lead me in the unknown. And so this is just a simple example, but the fact is I will just show up for the unknown. I'll just be inspired, and I have no idea where it's going to lead. All I know is that there's a peak. We got to get to the top. This is part of us choosing to thrive in a multidimensional lifestyle. Part of that is challenging ourselves, because I certainly challenge other people. I love a good challenge, especially if it forces me to confront my fears. There are a few times where I'm like, wow, maybe I should go back down and go the easier route. There are a few times where I'm like, wow, if I keep going, what's on the other side of that bend? I don't even know. But that's the quest, is that we don't know until we take ourselves to the edge of our limits, take ourselves to the place where our comfort zone is like, oh, that's right there. And, oh, okay, well, what's beyond our comfort zone? And it's so easy to stay on the screen and think we've got it made. So easy to make money on the screen and to use AI and to do all these things. But the fact is that we're human. And we came here to exemplify what it means to be an example of Mother, Father, God in form, because we are the presence of the Lord and Lady Christ within our hearts. And we have the power and the wisdom and the absolute love to go into the unknown and choose, not just in the void, but also in life, to bring a collective authority of what it is that we choose to see, feel, and then be in this world and on this planet. Even if we are dealing with challenge, even if we're dealing with disasters, even if we're dealing with breakdowns or breakups or fallouts, we can choose to be in the prayer. We can choose to be in the imaginal cell and discover a way out. Open ourselves in our synapses in our brain to other realities, other timelines in the galactic hall of mirrors, to find a different time space where everything resolves into not just a relief of a but a joy, but a laughter, but a love that, wow, we thought everything was going to go in this direction, which was terrible, but actually it was just an alchemical test to get us to this place of incredible bliss, incredible resolution that brought us gratitude and appreciation and went beyond relief, went into like, wow, we manifested this epic experience. And it reminds me of a kahuna when a disaster fell during the first Kalipana lava flow that Mauna Kea blew. And this was in the 80s on the big island of Hawaii. And this kahuna was in the prayer with Pele, was always connecting to the consciousness of the big island and the spirit of the governing presence of that island, which is Mother Pele, and had an altar and had different heiaus that he made, which are made out of sacred pohakus, sacred stones on his land, and his family and his wife were always in this prayer. And when the lava exploded and the volcano started rolling over and all that flow started going down into Pahoa and Kalipana, all the city and the town and the village all got destroyed. People were fleeing for their lives, getting out of Dodge. So many people lost everything, right? And the only family and his acreage of Aina, his sacred land, that was left after the lava flow completed, went into the sea to literally make new earth. And she was done in her destruction. She was done in her flow. The only family left standing was this kahuna and his family on their land, because the lava came flowing down the mountainside as the volcano was exploding, and it went around his land and his temple house. And it destroyed everything around it to the right and left, all the way to the sea. And there was just this giant circle of where his sacred Aina was left standing. And what's the reason? Because he was living a noble, sovereign lifestyle, thriving in a multidimensional consciousness, because he was connecting with our greater family. He was connecting to the other 6 kingdoms. So when we choose to thrive with nature and the spirit of the nature and the beings that govern natural intelligence, they will protect us. They will love us back, because you all of a sudden say, hey, all of you, I am loving you. I'm communicating with you. You matter to me. And you form a communication bond. There's a relational field that begins. And then the feedback loop comes back. And they want to support your expansion into a thriving lifestyle, into the multidimensional communication of living, right? Because love is just a word. All there is love. And we say love, 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 love. Yes, we gotta love. Love is aloha, is love. It's the shared breath. It's essential love. But if we don't have wisdom and power side by side with love, or what we say in Hawaii, ho'oponopono and maikai supports aloha. It's the 3 jewels of the path of the Huna. Then we're not really actually anchored in that trinity, that sacred triangle. And then our aloha is very weak. Our love gets run over, and we get lazy. We get complacent. We sacrifice. We go into servitude. And then eventually we become victims. Just look on the mass media, mass disinformation screen, on all the socials. There's so much disinformation. There's a lot of inspiration too, but there's also a lot of disinformation. Those illusions are propagating the enticement of more victimhood. And the only way that we can move beyond victimhood is to become authentic, courageous, fearless beings of infinite light, showing up and serving the upliftment of humankind. The more that we can show up for every moment, no matter what is befalling us, and rise above and expand our hearts, then we can truly move this consciousness that is humanity like a great giant collective ship into the strength of resilience as more potential disasters, more potential fallouts, more potential losses, more potential people dropping their body, more potential breakups and breakdowns, more relationships not being in alignment, then we can choose to really be in our all one and in our aloneness, which is our all one. And we can be in our own atonement, which is at one-ment. And we can epigenetically rescript our genetic destiny for radiant health, which is our greatest wealth, and inspire all of humanity wherever we choose to move in this great game, in this great adventure, expressing joy. And we can then marry our beloved within and without, and choose to be on a conjoined inner evolutionary pattern where our children's children are moving all the way far out into future time. Because truly, I am from the future. When I became Miracle Weihua Lokahi King, I went into the future time space and became an epigenetic human miracle to be of service in this body for the rest of my time here. And I am so desiring right now for all of you to show up to being your own version of an epigenetic miracle, to be your own version of what it means to strive and persevere and have the persistence to move beyond all your karmic obstacles and obscurations, to find love and joy and bliss again for this now holy moment, and feel the holy presence within the present of this expansion. Because truly, we have to be the kings and queens within this empire of the Stormlands. And that is the essence of this whole transmission, is to be the heart eye of all the storms in our lives and find the Satchitananda, the bliss, consciousness, existence, absolute. And in that bliss wave, we can truly, truly lead by example and show up in every single moment for the open source mystery school of this incredible life. I am sending so much expanded flight patterns to your multidimensional existence. And I look forward to seeing you in the humility and the humbleness of the 3D. And that whatever comes your way, whether it's good or bad, may you just breathe through it and feel the gratitude for just having a precious human life, to be able to even experience what it means to be part of humankind. So much love to you on this gorgeous day. Please, if you haven't already, share this video, like and subscribe, press that bell notification, And I certainly will see you on the next Communiversity Portal transmission. Much love and aloha. Mahalo ke akua. From the land of the true Olympic natural intelligence gods and goddesses. Aho matakuyasin. Big love, everyone. You.